Yo, what it is, ladies and gentlemen, what it is. Welcome to another episode of the B-Side Podcast. Coming at you live and direct from hot ass California. Yes, it's on fire. We're burning up on here. Literally, let me stop because there are some areas on fire. I did see a fire when I was off the 57. I don't know. It was in the hills, but it was black smoke. It was definitely a fire.
Diamond Bar?
No, I would say probably like maybe Anaheim Hills, maybe Santa Ana Heights, somewhere alongside the hillside. It was black smoke. I said, oh, that's a fire. But yeah, we are burning up out here. Yes, I know we don't have no humidity. Speaking of those on the East Coast and down south.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do have some humidity, but I'm saying it's hot. It's been in the hundreds. It's been in the hundreds, and we're going through a drought. So bear with us. If you see some sweat or you see me glistening, because it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? We got one of the cohorts on here. My man, DP. What's up, Dave?
What's up, B?
What's happening with you, man?
Man, a whole lot, man. Trying to stay cool like everybody else.
Now, we was discussing here that it is holiday weekend, Sunday, and you were telling me that you golfed at what time today out in Lakewood? What time was it?
7 a.m. Not early enough.
How many holes you play?
18. What's the problem? That's how many you're supposed to play, Bob.
I thought cats played like 9 holes or 18. I thought it was 9.
Man, that was recreational golfers. You know what I'm saying?
So the question is, how is the what do you call it? The where you get the food and shit. What is it called?
The snack stand?
Yeah. How is that? How's that on a golf course? Because a lot of the golf courses, they got some tight food stand or whatever, the bars, whatever the case may be.
Well, they got restaurants, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then they got a snack bar for those who just want to get like a quick little protein bar, some protein in them, some sugar.
Or beer.
Some water, some beer, some Jack Daniels for those, you know what I mean, who want to drink some Jack Daniels out in the hot sun.
Hey, man, you got my shirt on? You got my shirt on there, man? Hey, I appreciate that, dog. I appreciate that, man.
Represent right, you know what I mean?
I see you, though. Hey, but I know Florida State's playing.
I want to say something, but just make sure we represent right for the start of the season. Yeah.
Hey, hold. We'll get back to C. I just want to see how Dave was playing on a Sunday morning, golf, 7 a.m. in the morning.
Wasn't one of my best days, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't one of my worst days. How's that?
Now, was there a group of you guys?
Yeah, man. I got a group of 4 that we play with on the regular.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Ex hoopers.
Okay. So who's the best out of all y'all?
The one who's the worst hooper.
Who was that?
Walt. Cat named Walt.
I don't remember Walt. Do I know Walt?
Mike.
Nah, man, you ain't gonna remember
that. Okay. Now see, since college football started, I forgot. My man's a FSU fan. Now wait a minute here, see. Now, in football, you follow players, right?
Yes, I do.
You follow. So why aren't you rolling with Jackson State?
I watched them today too.
Okay.
Lil Sanders QB night.
He said watch them. I mean, you got keywords here, man. Are you a fan or you just watch them?
My guy is leading the program. That's all you need to know.
Question on this though. Did Florida A&M have enough players? Because last week they had 26 players that didn't suit up against North Carolina.
No, they had players out there, but it wasn't no match, dude. They just jumped on them cats.
Yeah,
wait a minute. Did North Carolina lose to
Appalachian State?
The Appalachian State.
No, they won. They won.
Oh, but they almost lost. They almost lost.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. If that Appalachian State quarterback, he was out there throwing like Cam Newton towards the end of the game.
Matt Brown ought to be ashamed of himself. 19 seconds and gave up a touchdown. What in the world was that?
They gave up in the fourth quarter with some crazy shit. They gave up like 40 points or some shit like that in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter.
North Carolina did.
That's got to be a record.
Yeah. Yeah. They broke all types of records that game. But now, the only reason why I brought up Florida A&M, because, hey, if you guys don't tune in to the Roland Martin show on the Black Star Network. Anyhow, he was going in on Florida A&M last week because they had like 26 players that were ineligible. Wow. And the whole point was obviously Florida A&M.
That's not a football program apparently. And who is the coach? You know what I mean?
Well, the president fired the AD. He got them all out of red line. He got them all back together. And right before the season, he fires the AD. For whatever reason. I don't know. For whatever reason.
That's maybe because he knew that the players probably won't go to class.
Where'd that come from? Wow. I guess we're going straight to the deep end.
Hey, no, let's keep it real, though. I mean, because Dion, I saw a little skit on him. He's like, look, man, I don't want y'all wearing no slides to class.
Think about it.
You know what I'm saying? There's a representation, you know what I mean, as far as a program that you're trying to upheld. He's not holding them kids accountable, apparently.
Well, I don't know what happened. They talk about that.
Florida A&M?
Florida A&M. They said
they won the SWAC last year, they said.
Man, they're a powerhouse, supposedly. They even got LeBron James as a sponsorship now. Yeah. He sponsors them. But for whatever reason, they only had 26 eligible players. No, 26 players were eligible against North Carolina. And the whole thing was if they didn't play that game, they would have had to pay $500,000. They made $800,000 off that game. So basically, the football team saved them.
Wash, yeah.
Saved them. And then Cass is like, how is this possible? They only had supposedly one student for the whole football team. One person. So yeah. So I was just wondering because my man Roland Martin went in on him. I mean, they went in on him so bad that the marching man was like, wait a minute now.
That's embarrassing,
we traveled 26 hours over the weekend because the band performed at North Carolina.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
And we had to change on the bus. We couldn't go shower afterwards. It's a whole bunch of shit going on, man.
And that's the HBCU, right?
Yes.
Florida A&M, yeah.
And then the whole thing is like, how are they in this position when Florida State is right across the street, literally? You see, you can talk to people over there like, okay, how do you do this?
No, I think you mean Miami.
No. Florida State and Florida A&M are like close.
I thought it was Miami.
No. Florida A&M's up in Tallahassee.
Really?
Yes.
What school is in? I thought there's another school right next to Miami.
Could be. I don't know, but it's not Florida A&M. Florida A&M is up north, Tallahassee. But make a long story short, hey, yes. So I was just checking. You know, I see you got your Bobby Bowden T-shirt on. You know
That's right. I still rep for Bobby.
Did he die?
Yes. Bobby.
Yeah, I thought so.
Bobby has transitioned.
Yeah, that's right. He had the shakes before he left too. I was like, boy, he's shaking bad.
Hey, Bobby was all good until one person showed up, Chris Ricks. That man knew where the bodies was at. Went all downhill once Chris Ricks showed up. Don't know what happened with Chris Ricks, but
Chris Ricks.
Don't ever.
He's on the milk carton.
Program.
He's on the milk carton. He's on the milk carton.
Yeah.
When last time anybody brought up that name?
Hey, man, people who live in the past of the Florida State criminals.
Get it in, Bobby.
That's who.
Chris Ricks.
Like, what they doing this year? What they
Santa
do last
Margarita's
year?
finest.
What they do last year?
Santa Margarita's finest.
What they do last year?
I mean, what they did last year? Balling last year.
You said Santa Margarita's finest?
Yeah, and that's what I said. Once they got the West Coast player, Bobby was done. He was done after that. There's no way that man should have been no QB up there.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah. Opening college day weekend, I was split. I went 50-50. My CSU Rams, we got killed at the big house, 51-7. Ouch. Oh yeah, I know it's bad. I was hearing it all from my Michigan fans. Good Lord. I was like, damn, I guess you guys were really paying attention. But anyway, my Buckeyes, we closed it out on Notre Dame. Notre Dame covered the spread, unfortunately.
Y'all got lucky. That was a good game.
That was a great game.
We got lucky.
That was the only game I watched. You know what I mean? Was that one.
We got lucky. We was dominating the whole game. See?
Oh, y'all
he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. We was dominating.
No.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
First quarter
was
wasn't
dominating.
dominant.
We dominated first quarter, fourth quarter. You know what I mean? We was dominating that game, baby.
Let's back this up.
What?
You need to elaborate on the word dominate.
What I mean dominate was
my
man, the quarterback was off.
That's not dominating then. That's not dominating then, Bob. How you be off and dominating?
Because we won. We won.
You said the whole game.
I'll escape.
You sound like C Nice now, man. Come on, man. Y'all just be throwing stuff out there.
We dominated. You see the running back. You see what we did the second half of total yardage? We dominated.
That guy's been there like 8 years.
What?
No, Stroud just got there. He just got there. He just got
he's
there.
a sophomore.
Running back, not the quarterback. The running
Which one?
back.
We had two of them.
The one that's been there like 8 years.
Oh, he like 30. He like 30. He like 30.
The big dude. They like, oh, yeah, something always happened to him.
He's 30 still
hey,
playing.
Ain't nobody saying nothing. Ain't nobody saying nothing to the Mormons when they go on their little hiatus for a couple years and come back. And speaking of them, we're gonna talk about that a little later. We're gonna talk about BYU. Yeah, we put it out there. BYU. Yeah. All that fuckery going on now. They trying to say it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Bullshit. It's some bullshit.
Oh, hell no.
Well, we're gonna bring that up. You know what? Should we get into it now? Should we get into it now?
I think you already did, man.
Okay. Well, if you haven't heard, last Friday, volleyball game starting off the season, big classic, I want to say, out in Provo. You know, Provo, they had it in their main arena. Provo seats over 20,000 people. Well, volleyball game against Duke and BYU. Duke's player, Rachel Richardson, she was saying that she was allegedly she heard some racial slurs coming from the stands. And afterwards, they're going to the bus. Somebody shouts out, "Hey, you better watch yourself. Watch your back." So allegedly, I guess she told the coach or whatever. I guess the coaches at BYU Duke came together and talked. And make a long story short, BYU issued a cop to sit on the side at the end of the bench of Duke. Maybe it's used as a deterrent for any of those alleged racial slurs going on from the fans. Well, obviously, after the game, it finally came out, got exposure a little bit. Obviously, Roland Martin picked it up because Roland knew her father. Her father is, I want to say Rachel Richardson's father. He's a big-time executive with the ATF. So had him on, talking about, hey, my daughter called me, a little irate. She didn't feel safe. Obviously, some racial slurs or whatnot was put out there, whatever the case may be. So initially, the AD at BYU came out, addressed the crowd, apology, hey, we're better than this, blah, 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 blah. So obviously there's a debate in that if the apology was accepted or worthy, whatever the case may be. And also, Rachel Richardson formally addressed the media. She put out a statement. So obviously that was a tournament. So the other games they played at a neutral site, no fans, basically a high school gym. Well, obviously, during later the week, you hear the media talking about, possible made up. They're trying to say this is almost like Jussie Smollett. All of a sudden.
I mean, well, I don't know if it was that strong, but it was a little bit more on the lines of, the dude said he didn't say the N-word.
Yeah.
And they said it might have been somebody else.
Yeah. And then they said that dude might be autistic.
Yeah. So, but my biggest thing is, there's a lot of different things that's wrong here. BYU being a Mormon or Jesus of Latter-day Saints, I think is what it's called now. You know what I mean? They is the new, term. But he was in the student section, and apparently he wasn't a student. So how he get in the student section? Number one. You know what I mean? So that's one big flaw. And secondly, they said that they watched footage and they wasn't able to find the man saying, this or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the same dude went to the bus. How did he make it to the bus? You know what I mean? To follow the girl and say, watch your back.
Yeah.
Again,
Safe.
Again,
Yeah.
another thing with BYU security that they still not talking about. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The access, you know what I mean? And the safety of the players. And BYU, we know how strict they are. If a cat has sex on
So
any of their sports team,
if they ain't
you know what I mean?
social, they ain't flying.
They get kicked off the squad. So now it's a matter of morale, you know what I mean? And them all being, you know, Jesus alive, they saints, you know what I mean? They supposed to look out and make sure that they treat everybody fairly, you would think.
You would think so. You would think so.
Somebody should have stood up if they got some moral, you know what I mean, a moral compass, you know what I mean, to say this man did it. But I don't know if anybody called the hotline yet.
Nobody called the hotline, nothing. Nobody said nothing.
They got
Nobody
a hotline,
said nothing.
bro.
Nobody said nothing. But now they, you know, but also like you were saying, Dave, how it was kind of like iffy, like the reports are getting a little convoluted. Is okay, this dude supposedly said it. Oh, there was no racial slurs, but what about the incident following him out to the bus? Talk about you better be careful.
Yeah, why you got to be careful if there was no slur?
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man.
And it wasn't even, I mean, it's not even crazy. She is the only black player, you know what I mean, that was playing.
Yes.
Yeah. We ain't gonna say on the team that was playing.
Yes. And we all know, if you haven't been to Utah, ladies and gentlemen, especially Provo, you would think that something's going on. Like everybody white got blonde hair, blue eyes.
There's a pattern, man. But here's another thing. That problem I had with that though, Bob. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This man was apparently an adult. In order to ostracize racism, his face need to be planted, you know what I mean, in a picture so everybody know who this dude is.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He needs to be ostracized. You know what I mean?
Why what's the protection going on, right?
Yeah, why aren't you classifying who this dude is? Because apparently, you know what I mean, if you identify him now, he could be identified later. You know what I mean? If something like this comes up again. And again, this is another thing that they're doing to protect people, you know what I mean, when it comes down to racism. And Don Staley made a good point.
Yes.
We ain't playing there.
Yes.
No, we don't need you know what I mean?
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Shout out to Don and the South Carolina University for the support. And it's right. It's too soon. Like she said, it's too soon.
We ain't playing there. And everybody else need to do it too. I mean, but I think BYU, they doing what they can as a school to kind of make sure that they stay ahead of it. I don't think that they did anything wrong personally. You know, I mean, the security, but what they're doing to follow up, I think is the accurate approach. You know. Yeah.
Because I guess the obviously the police said it's not enough evidence. They put it in the hands of the BYU right now, as far as, you know, their campus police or whatever the case may be, or their athletic department and things of that nature, and their media team, whatever the case may be. But yeah, you know, regardless, wrong or right, that's the whole thing. It's like C just said. Okay, maybe you didn't see nothing in the stands, but what about the threat to the bus?
Yeah, what's up with that?
I mean, how are you going to ignore that? There has to be footage of that, right?
No, there is. They got that.
you know,
they got that.
And then. Oh man, I got to stick to the code. You don't comment on religious aspects, but I'm just saying I think that faith looks at the brothers and sisters a little different, right? I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of history with them and, you know, blacks.
Is there any
Black Mormons? There's some.
Who? Name one.
I don't know, but there's some.
Name one. There's a whole bunch of them.
Name one. A famous one.
There's a bunch of them.
And then
you mean
I can't
famous?
even say that. I'm not even saying that about religion.
You mean famous? You mean, hey man, you know, religion.
I'm not, because I just trip off the fact a lot of Samoans go that route.
Hey, I mean, because it's a Hawaiian thing, man. It's just one of the, hey, you really have no control over the teachings that have been, you know, being put on you as a kid, right? Mm-hmm. So most of it is kind of hereditary and no different than, politics and all that, right? So
over in Samoa, right? Then the Mormons go to Samoa.
Man, every religion went everywhere to try and convert.
But you know what I'm saying is, in Samoa, that's like their number one religion. So that's that's why they travel from Samoa a lot, go to Utah. You know what I mean? So that's I mean, so you kind of get that point. But once again, this is a great question. who is the celebrity Mormon? Black celebrity Mormon? Because I don't know.
Why does it have to be celebrity though? Why does it have to be celebrity though? I mean, our celebrity, they could be non-celebrity.
You could name a regular person. That's why I said maybe we can remember a celebrity Mormon.
I don't know. Me personally, I don't know any blacks that's Mormon.
I mean, I've seen them on the bike.
Who?
I've seen them pedaling.
You seen the black? You seen black Mormons in the shirt and tie?
You sure?
Costa Mesa.
Oh wow!
No, they don't ride bikes.
Oh, I thought they rode bikes. I've seen them on bicycles.
Not he said the Jehovah's Witness. He said, "You sure what?"
Oh, wait, Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons are two different. They're two different.
This cat. Coming from Ohio, y'all.
Hey, because anytime I see them, I say I'm with the nation or something. I'm a Black Baptist.
He just seen
I'm a Methodist
growing up, and he talking about they the same thing. Ain't that something? Come on, son.
I mean, the Latter-day Saints isn't that Mormons, right?
That's Mormon. That's one of the same.
Yeah. Okay.
That's one
and they're not the ones with the black slacks, the white shirt, and the black tie. Don't they make them?
And the tie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they ain't Jehovah's Witnesses either.
No, they don't come out with the black shirt, black tie. They got the whole suit on that looked like it came from Goodwill.
Oh, okay.
They do. They be too big. Like, fool, where you get that from? Talking about
Well, they sitting on a fat bank account probably. I think it's just all a look. Deceiving.
I don't know. Like I said, they normally look dry when they come to the door, though. It's like, man, you need to.
I tell them when they come to the door, I'm like, I'm with the nation.
And what they say when you tell them that?
Just leave. What can I say? I'm with the nation. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Why you got a lot? Why did you tell them no?
Well, I mean, I don't think the Baptist comes off as hard. You know what I mean? I don't think you'll say I'm a Baptist. They'll be like, hey, we have a chance.
So you say if you hit them with "I'm with the nation," they just turn back around.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
So you're saying that the nation, you can't convert them, but you might be able to convert somebody, you know what I mean, who's Presbyterian.
Well, they'll be like, we both. Well, if I come with a Baptist, they'll be like, well, we both believe in the Lord. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to get him out quick. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get him up off the porch, off the door quick. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Just say no.
Hey man, they don't need to be rolling up anyway. Like, why are you rolling up in our community? Go in y'all's shit. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Once again. You know what I'm saying? Go recruiting yours. Ain't nobody around here looking like you. So what are you trying to convert? What are you really up to?
What they look like, Bob? What they look like, Bob?
Well, some white cats in the neighborhood. Come on, man. She got a question like, wait a minute, what do you want? What you trying to exploit? They up to something. It's up to something. You gotta. My intent. My what do you call it? What do people say? My spidey senses go up. You know what I'm saying?
They
up to something.
You tell them to call the police. Like, why you in my neighborhood?
Nah, I definitely ain't gonna do that. Because they see some white cats in me, they gonna question me first. Like, they came to my door. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, who knows? Nah, I'm definitely not calling them. They are not problem solvers. The police are not problem solvers. I'm definitely not calling them. But you know what? We gonna get back on the sports. But right now we're gonna go on to some politics here. Let me bring up the segment for the politics. Because if you guys don't know, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, and it always happens here in California for whatever the case may be. Towards the end of August, it's a deadline. So they got to try to pass all these bills and put them on the governor's desk. I want to say no later at the end of August. So I guess beginning of September, those bills had to be put on the governor's desk. And there were a few bills, interesting, that got passed across to his desk. If you guys don't know, you can always go to california.gov. But also there is a site that you can definitely check out. It's called calmatters.org. They always break down some of the bills and some of the laws and things like that that goes down. But there's a few bills, obviously, that are interesting, to say the least. First things first, obviously, everybody's talking about going, here I go with that. Everybody's talking about green energy, solar energy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the SB 846, looks like we're trying to keep open Diablo Canyon nuclear power plant. Looks like it's going to be scheduled. It was scheduled to shut down on 2025. However, it looks like it's going to be open until 2030. And they also get an excess of state funding of $600 million for this power plant to remain open. So, how do you guys feel about that? We're supposed to go green. However, we're still holding on to some nuclear.
600 million? 600 billion or million?
Million. And that's just for servicing and all that stuff, right? Because it's nuclear.
Yeah, so it's a lot of it,
right?
A lot of
you know what I
things
mean?
yeah.
But nuclear, I mean, at some point, man, you just can't have just all wind energy and solar energy because the sun don't always shine, right? You know what I mean? You need alternatives. The wind don't always blow. You know what I mean? So yeah, it needs to stay open. Last I checked. And it's not a big part of our power generation in California. They closed San Onofre how many years ago?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean that's
they still got waste up in there, right? That they haven't got rid of. Don't know what to do with.
Well,
it's almost like you're stuck with it.
No, it takes something like 150 years or something like that.
You won't be on.
No. No,
hold on, man. Hold on, people. We gotta think about the future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, go ahead. That's all.
I haven't figured it out.
Well, the future is Mars, unless you ain't figured that part out yet. They trying to get back. They trying to get back to home, bro. You know what I mean? They trying to get back to
Mars.
The Martians.
We can't even send a rocket out to the moon. Let alone
all kind of air condition problems. Can't even rocket.
They need to stop. This is just bad. This is a sign. Just stop it.
Like,
it's a sign. Stop it.
Woo.
Yeah.
So
we don't.
So we can go file up that whole thing, huh? Like, hey, look, that's the last place you want to go. The place that's giving us light. Yes. Like, dude, leave that alone. Go to the sun. You want to impress me? Go to the sun. You know what I mean? Leave the moon alone.
Right. I'm saying we already nuked it a few times.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then you know what? I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, conspiracy theorist or whatever the case would be. But did we go to the moon? Did we go there?
Hey man, opening Pandora's box.
I'm just saying. We only went there one time, and that was in the 60s. Come on, man.
Hold up. And no other country has either.
Exactly.
Elon Musk ain't even been there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If Elon ain't been there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey man,
ain't nobody been there.
I don't know if you guys watched what is the show about the Queen on Netflix? What's the name of the show? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
No.
The Crown.
The Crown. Yeah, The Crown. That's serious now. And also they have, follow-up of the real events. It was scary how on point they were. But do you remember when they had the astronauts come to Buckingham Palace? And the prince was curious, and he's like, did they even go? Because these guys were just, I was trying to get serious, and they were just like dodging and going around the questions. So that right there is like, and we ain't ever been there. Now all of a sudden, every time we try to go up there, something happens. Like, leave that rocket alone, ladies and gentlemen. Leave it alone. Leave it.
If I'm an astronaut, I'm like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? That's just like taking your car to the mechanic, right? You know what I mean? On the AC. Are you leaving? One of the vents ain't working.
Something else happened.
Something else happened. It ain't blowing out the left vent, bro.
That's the biggest scheme out there. in history.
Come on.
And what kills me, right, is don't let your order at McDonald's be one nugget off. You ready to kill somebody up in McDonald's. But like you said, you go to your mechanic, your left vent ain't working, you ain't saying shit to that mechanic. You ain't going in there threatening that mechanic like you did over them chicken nuggets.
Get your brakes fixed and they still squeaking.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Come on, son. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. I ain't leaving. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's where they need body cams. The police and mechanics. You know what I'm saying? make sure they keeping everything up to par. You know what I mean? That's what they need. Body cams on police and mechanics, plumbers, and also
finance cats in the car dealership.
And also hookers. Yep. They need body cams on hookers. Because they got sticky fingers, you know what I mean? Yeah, they got sticky fingers. You know, you've heard stories where somebody, adult entertainer, went and seen somebody one-on-one.
Entertainer body.
Yeah, it's entertainment. You know what I mean? I'm being PC correct here.
I'll tell you this though. If they have a union, you wouldn't have to worry about the problem. See?
That's right. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's right. See, unionize the adult entertainers. Unionize it.
Dangerous out there without them.
Hey man. Every time I go in Harbor, it's in Anaheim Harbor. There's still streetwalkers, man. It's crazy. Still.
Okay.
Still.
So I gotta ask. Do they have teeth in their mouth or they don't have teeth on Harbor?
well, I mean, the ones I've seen, they got teeth. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's one who's don't. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. They can have dentures in. We don't know. We don't know.
So they're not like Vegas. They're not like the Vegas ones.
No, Vegas, I would say, are better. That's better quality out in Vegas. You know what I mean? It's legal there, so you know they're gonna be a little bit more fit, you know, up to par on things. Well, hey, we sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we get sometimes on the B-Side podcast. Yes,
it's called politics.
Yes, politics.
Turning tricks.
No Johns, just politics. But also, okay, we're getting still back on California and some of these policies. Obviously, you got some policies about abortion, SB 1142 and SB, or AB, I should say, 21. What? Pass it?
Pass.
But obviously, and what's crazy is, I should say crazy, on some of these policies, for instance, SB 1142, there's a $20 million fund that grants to groups to help women cover the cost of travel, lodging, and childcare and other expenses assessing abortion. That's a good thing. I mean, hey, we got to protect these ladies. Come on. And then also there's, like AB 2134 establishes a reproductive health equity fund. I guess as an offset the cost of free or reduced cost of abortions and contraceptive services for low-income patients. Definitely. You know, that's definitely for us brothers and sisters out there, because there's reports in the South that they're not selling prophylactics to certain people. Some of these companies, like, nope, against my religion, I'm not selling you these condoms.
We knew that was coming.
Unbelievable. How are you going to turn down somebody who wants to buy some condoms?
That was part of the plan. It wasn't just about the abortion. It was about everything with it. You know, contraceptives, all of that. That's part of the plan. So
what's the plan? What plan?
The plan is in the certain states that
down south, red states,
they've turned their back on allowing abortions. It wasn't just about the abortions. All the contraceptives as well. They're going to not sell them. You know what I mean? So it's just part of the plan, the whole plan.
Yeah,
I know, but what's the plan though?
The plan is for them to reproduce.
Who's them?
Who you think? The people in the red states.
Who are them? I mean,
people in the red states.
People in the red states.
They want them to reproduce.
The white nationalists. I'll say it. The white nationalists. I'll say it. Hey, we got to start calling shit out what it is. They still calling us the N-words whenever they can, so why can't we call them out?
I know, but don't aren't all races and nationalities having an issue with having babies, not just a certain group? Isn't it every race that's having issues with birthing?
They want to. Majority again.
They say there's more adult diapers being sold than it is baby diapers being sold.
Yeah. We know why the adult baby diapers being sold. The alphabet community.
Oh shit!
I'm just saying, right? I mean, come on, man. Hey, listen. It's out in the open now. It's all about the pride now. So there's more on the shelf. I've noticed it. Like, what are these? Male depends.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
No, Bob. I mean,
what?
Why? How does adult diapers? You know what I mean?
Think about it. 10, 15 years ago, you didn't see them on the shelf. They were still in the closet. Now you can come out.
So you need adult diapers for that?
The males, hello. Adam and Steve, hello. Adam and Steve, you need the depends.
Hey,
Monkeypox.
This has taken a weird turn that I was not. Hey. Tune in. We keep it real and raw.
Hey,
podcast for everybody.
I'm sorry, Bob. I'm missing.
Dave.
You know what I mean?
Dave.
I don't want to go any further.
Dave. If you haven't been paying attention, there's more men dependables on the shelves now compared to 10, 15, 20 years ago.
I know, because people are living longer, right? They just can't, some people have like a lot of.
They can't hold
it. Yeah, right.
No.
So you
they was living long then.
So
my theory is, the alphabet community. That's my theory.
So it's because of their activities is causing them to use it.
Yes,
they can't hold their shit.
Exactly. the sphincter muscle is out of tune. Sphincter muscle out of tune. For real. Come on, man. We gotta stop sugarcoating shit, man. The code says you gotta speak the truth.
There's no podcast in America like that.
Hey, the code says you got to speak the truth. You have to speak the truth. And you're right. That's code, what you said, Dave. Activity. That's code. That's code.
Hey, man. That's no America that keeps it rough, rugged, and raw like that.
See the one talk about the contraceptives. I brought up that they're not selling them. And then he went into the depends. I say, yo, they're on the shelves, man. I was like, what are these? You used to see them with the females, but there's a whole bunch of the male depends on the shelves. So I'm like, men been getting old forever.
They can't be old.
Men been getting old forever. So has to be the alphabet community. But hey, speaking of our community, I should say, we getting back to some of the California laws or whatnot. But also with the protection, they also got
my virgin ears.
Oh, whatever, man. whatever. But also there's a couple bills passed as far as protecting the women as far as they cross state lines where government and police officials are not able to turn them in. Obviously, that goes to AB 2223, and then AB 2626 prevents professional licensing boards from punishment to doctors, physicians, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, and nurse professionals who aren't going to get punished in performing these abortions. So a lot of those passed, which are good. But some of the interesting bills that passed, obviously, that are kind of interesting, kind of good, I would say. SB 951, boosting paid family leave. I think that's good. I think, hey, it's supposed to be all, well, no such thing as equality. But anyhow, hey, some of us males, we got to stay at home. We hearing from the females how during the pandemic, the males wasn't helping. This is a way the males can help during their pregnancy, that we can get paid and help out the unit too. So I'm definitely with SB 951. Now, also is a good thing is AB 257, regulating fast food worker wages. I'm all for that. I think that should be unionized too, because they're feeding America. They're feeding America. Nobody's cooking.
It's not a good thing, but okay.
It's not. But hey, everything wants fast. Nobody's cooking. So hey, got to protect the workers who are feeding everybody. Also,
killing everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, yes, no doubt. Yes. You're right. Also, SB 222, water bill that helps low-income Californians. Also, AB 2098, crazy disciplinary tongue twister action to or towards COVID disinformation. So people, be careful out there. Start saying some misinformation about COVID, your ass could get in trouble. So be careful on that. That's kind of 50-50. How y'all feel about that? That you can get in trouble, possibly, for misleading people on COVID information.
So how does that work? So we talking about COVID, and then somebody says, well, my friend Dave told me X, Y, and Z about COVID. You know what I'm saying? And that goes to what? Police officer, somebody, sort of like, how does that really work? How do they determine who said what about COVID?
Well, it's probably anybody who has
who is police?
A lot of followers. Right? I mean, a lot of followers. I mean, think about it. There was what is it called? The bad six or whatever. My man Rizza Islam was on that list. So they have actually people on the list who've been out giving out their misinformation. I think that's also
Islam made that list.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're trying to get him on some bullshit right now.
Yeah, really? He was saying it was like purposely, you know what I mean, for like the minorities and all. He went like, you know what I mean, on a whole nother level with it.
I think it was the bad six or some shit like that. So a lot of that probably has to do with your followers. You know what I mean? If nobody's following you, they don't give a damn. But if you a celebrity with a lot of followers, you're giving out, misinformation, I'm sure they're going to warn you. And if you keep on, matters will be taken.
What was that? What was that? That medication that Donald Trump said for everybody to take? You know
Bleach.
What I mean? That type of misinformation is what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Joe Rogan saying, "Hey, take this instead of going out getting vaccinated."
Exactly.
And again, I think
him too. Him too. Yeah, I mean, they got large following.
I know, but what is really, like C-Nice said, what is classified as misinformation? Because there's a lot of things that's holistic, that's that's FDA may not necessarily have approved, or
there it is.
Or doctors may not have approved, but people who take this holistic way of healing, it might work for them. And let's be and that's a touchy situation. Now we think about it, because everything on the market is so subjective, right? You can have all this stuff come out like, hey, eugenics, it's like, with all these cats on TV selling this, people with low testosterone, right?
There you go.
Yeah, low testes is what I'm about to say. You know what I mean? And then it's like, hey man, then it clearly says FDA not approved. You know what I mean? On the ad, that's disinformation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that putting in writing is foul.
Yeah.
And that's disinformation in itself. To even just say just COVID stuff, people get penalized for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is like a religious person only picking out a certain scripture that's only fit for them. And this is the way this politics stuff is working too. We're gonna put something in here that it only works for us.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because they should just disband anything that's completely false. Hey, this fat burning stuff, it'll knock off 20 pounds in 1 week.
Yeah. But you got to also remember that vitamins, FDA don't even prove them.
Subjective. All of it is subjective.
Yep. Yeah. So then you also got to think like, wait a minute. Like you were saying, it's a little fishy because whatever you say, isn't that freedom of speech? Right? So that's a little tricky. Yeah, that's definitely We're going to follow up on that, ladies and gentlemen, see how that does. No question. Break it down once when the bill get introduced or passed.
So it's terrorist threats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But here's a couple interesting ones too.
Watch
You got the AB 2632 limited solitary confinement. Doesn't shut all the way down, but I guess it's a little better than cats going in there for years on solitary confinement. So that limits solitary confinement. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, huh?
I mean,
Some people been there for years, man. Years.
Let's throw this out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, limited solitary confinement.
Exactly.
Normally, when people go on solitary confinement, it's because they cannot be around other people. So solitary confinement is necessary when somebody clearly don't want to be around somebody. Someone is danger to himself and somebody else. He has to be on. He has to be, or she has to be on solitary confinement for whatever time he or she is in there. Period.
Yes. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting too. But here's another one.
Who polices
one
that?
That's crucial for all you artists out there. AB 2799. Now, mind you, these are policy for California.
This is
AB 2799. Introducing rap lyrics at trial. So all you artists out there, be careful. Your rap lyrics, freedom of speech, could cost you in time.
It's ridiculous.
Now, and we know what that means, right? If it's associated with a real crime, right? So it's not just your lyrics. You know what I mean? If they fictitious, then I think you good. You know what I mean? But if it's actually related to a real event, you just told on yourself.
Yeah.
But at the end, again, they dumbed it down to rap lyrics. Not just lyrics. Period. Yeah. How about a freaking book?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or rock music.
Exactly.
House music. Country music.
Country music.
What is the Hispanic music where they talk about killing for real? You heard them bands? I forgot them bands, but they be talking about some shit. So, hey man, hey,
yeah, I don't know about that, but
that's gonna be interesting.
But that's foul again, man. You just cannot just single out one genre with a lot of things. People write memoirs, you know what I mean, about things that happened in their life years ago, right? You know what I mean, of things that have been true and pretty heinous. Are those people exempt in California? Man. What about a movie strip?
Yeah, straight after hip hop, man. It's crazy, ain't it?
That's foul.
Ain't it?
Hip hop police still exists.
I mean,
censorship.
And then what's so crazy is that's on the back end of the RICO charges of Young Thug and them. Crazy how that works out.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these rappers get caught up on some RICO charges. Boom. Now here goes states implementing things to get rappers.
I mean,
crazy.
I mean, we got to do better at the end of the day, man. And that's a whole nother thing.
But
if we out here, but I mean, I mean, if
how many rappers are rapping about their crimes?
The dumb ones. There are dumb ones out there.
Yeah, okay, but I'm just saying, the percentage of people that are rapping, how many of them are really rapping about crimes they did? So there needs to be law. There needs to be a law about that. You know what I mean? Like,
it's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy, ain't it?
Dumb ones. You know what I mean? Dumb ones. I mean, at the end of the day, man, you know, most things are created based off of the things that they saw. Whether you're a comedian, you know, movie writer, it happens. You write about your experience. That's part of the art. You know, so I can see it happen, but don't be dumb about it.
Yeah,
you know, you almost got to write on a disclaimer on your CD, whatever you put out, and say, you know, this is not actual events.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta have to cover your tracks.
Yeah.
Yes, so those are some of the bills introduced. Like I said, go to, and we got to be up on top of these things, ladies and gentlemen. So
Be
if you're a
smart. Be
California resident,
smart.
go to california.gov, calmatters.org. Check those out. Bills up there. Break down who sponsored them, who's behind them. So it's definitely vital information that we can use. So once again, moving on to sports here. Obviously, back on sports, like I said again. Obviously, college football weekend. I know we haven't talked about this, but we're going to. How do you guys feel, since we're out in California, USC and UCLA joining the Big Ten?
I mean, the Pac-12 sucks. I mean, first and foremost, so it sucks for a long time.
Tell us how you really feel. Tell us how you
say,
really feel.
That conference sucked. You know what I mean? It just wasn't very good. And when they match up against all the other conferences, they was always getting blown out for the last 10 years. Let's say that. But in terms of them joining the Big Ten or whatever, it's just the nature of the beast right now, man. Everybody's going everywhere else. Money's talking and people walking. And that's basically what it is. I mean, very shortly, there's only going to be like 2 conferences in the way this whole thing keep going, because they got an east side and a west side, or
I say everybody go independent.
You know what I mean? So only Notre Dame is independent, right? You know, so
yeah.
You know, so this is just kind of the nature of the beast right now. We'll see what happens.
I get restructuring, right? I mean, because it used to be the Pac-10, then it turned to Pac-12. They try to bring a little bit of extra to it. Let's just keep it real. I mean, UCLA ain't never really been no good powerhouse.
Which makes no sense. Still,
it only hurts them. USC, they have not been relevant in, that long. You know what I mean? So as far as they go, you know what I mean, with the whole Lincoln Riley hire, you know, I mean, they still got something to prove, but they haven't been getting no top recruits. You know what I mean, you ain't been hearing nothing about nobody, or they squads getting drafted high, top 3-4 round, NFL. So, I mean, for them, it's a great move at the end of the day, but my biggest thing is, what does it do for the Rose Bowl, right? One of the biggest bowls there is, right? What does it do for that? Pretty much. It pretty much almost cancels them out, because because with them schools now it's back to Pac-10. Do they change the name to Pac-10 again?
They should.
The 2 schools left. Does it go back to Pac-12? I mean, they go
other schools,
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, who are they gonna put in that Pac-12? You gonna put up UNLV? I'm about to say UNLV,
BYU. They get to go.
And this is just my theory. I mean, I think California, if they were smart, they would actually start adding football back to Cal State schools.
Exactly, you have to now.
This is
a large market here.
Exactly right. This is a good way, for them to because the college admissions is going down in California.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good way to kind of pick it back up. But that's just my idea. But man, it's all money, bro. $7 billion.
That's what I exactly going to say.
$7 billion.
$7 billion. And then it's like, okay, so it's like, damn, you guys were shitting on these players when they wanted to get that NIL money, but then you guys go sign a 7-year, $7 billion $7-year deal.
Don't even get me started.
And then what's crazy? Come on, and then this is like, wait a minute, how is all this happening? And then Fox, CBS, NBC. Then NBC has a separate contract with Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
And then you.
But they've always had it with
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Been there for years.
Game show.
Yep.
And then you want to shit on the players who's giving you the product where they can't make no money. But then you go out and get $1 billion a year deal. Come on.
Hey, but once again, man, I keep telling y'all this, dude, since we've had this conversation. We still don't know where that money is really allocated and going. We really don't.
What money?
The money that these programs have been getting from the TV money, these ADs, these football, they don't know where that money is. The NCAA, they pocketed all this money. So that NIL stuff for the kids, hey, so be it. You know what I mean? Because they pocketed billions of dollars. Can't nobody tell you where that money went. They say,
It's
"Oh,
crazy.
cost
Well,
the bowl,
no, they
the bowl
spin it
game.
up.
Bowl game cost that much?"
Hey
No.
man, they were saying how
They're
like you're saying, Dave, as far as those bowl games, all the alum they were in the red because all the alum want everything covered. They're like the most expensive was the liquor and the hotel bill. And all that money they was getting for these bowl games, done. But then once again, you were talking about the bowl games. Now how they're going to broaden it to 12 teams now, as far as the championship playoff. So now
2026. So, I mean,
yes.
a few years from now,
So now these bowl games are going to be relevant again. You know, the Rose
and
Bowl,
more
Tostita.
and more of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
more.
so
of
it's going to
them.
be interesting.
But let's be clear with these bowl games. How many bowl games do you really watch?
Well, we're going to start watching more. Well, I think we stopped watching them when the playoff came in contention. I think, just me personally, once when they start doing the playoff and they cut off so many teams, like, okay, it's only going to be 4 teams, that's when it was like, who cares about those other bowl games?
Yeah, that's facts, man. See, Nice went to one of the first one of the playoff games at the Rose Bowl.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, the playoffs is one of the biggest things for me. Certain bowl games is like anything after Christmas, right? Is what I would normally watch. Anything before Christmas, ain't nobody watching this stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, for me, it's like the championship game. You know what I mean? I look at my squad when they get to the bowl game. I don't care when it is, but other than that, some of the teams that make it to a bowl game, you like they're not gonna be able to beat that team. You know what I mean? And then you also have the thing is with now a lot of these players, they don't play when they know they about to get drafted. Cats be like, oh yeah, they best player ain't playing.
They dropping out. Yeah, they're dropping out.
So like the bowl game don't even be the real cats.
Yeah, but they get money now though. You know what I mean? So I think them leaving is probably a thing of the past because of that NIL. That actually, you know, they may pay them a little bit of extra money to actually probably play. You know, especially for like a sophomore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know that may actually get drafted. You know what I mean? So that's for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because also
$7 billion though. They said they're gonna have like a NFL type telecast now.
I heard that.
Well, they got it off game day.
Yeah. Yep.
Got off game day. That's where they took the format from. NFL game day.
Well, I mean, you know, Texas, they got this money years ago, man. Remember they got their own network, you know what I mean? You know, few years ago, or like 7-8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they started all that.
Down there.
But what's so crazy in this deal? When I was doing some research, it was crazy. Obviously, about NBC, they got a separate deal with Notre Dame, unaffiliated with the conferences. But also, I didn't know this. Fox owns a major stake in the Big Ten network. I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yes,
like, damn.
They're actually opening up a huge Big Ten facility in Chicago.
Really?
Yeah, a little inside trading for a little company I was, you know, doing a little work for.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Shout out to the humble brag right there, the IT work. Shout out to humble brag. No doubt, no doubt. Well, moving on to the NBA. A lot of moves going on. A lot of things going on this coming year. Main thing, well, we already know about what my Cavs did. Shout out to Cavs management getting Donovan. Appreciate that. Sexton had to go. Had to go. Appreciate that. But you know what? Like we was talking about that, they part of that trade was that player that from Kansas. I forgot his name.
Abujay.
Yeah. But hey,
I think he's
Donovan,
a good.
You got to go.
I thought he was a good little player. So
I'm glad on that. They're young. Donovan's only 25. Hell yeah. You know, there's potential. We might have 4 All-Stars in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Yes. 4 of them, Dave.
Somebody ain't gonna get the ball though.
It's all right. What's his name? Garland ain't selfish. Garland's not selfish. And then speaking of NBA Chicago Bulls, what's going on with Ball, man? They said he might not. I'm a Ball fan. I like Ball.
You heard his pops, you know what I mean? Damaged goods. This come from his pops. He said this a year ago. Damaged goods.
Never should have wore them shoes. That's what it was.
Them BBBs. Them BBBs got knees. Heard man. hurting. But like you said, we move on at the end of the day.
I
That's
mean,
not something.
he's
Not a
gonna
play.
be there.
That's not. That's not. That's not. That's not.
He's just not gonna be there at the beginning of the season. I mean, he's still gonna be
Yeah,
there.
yeah. That's not a player that makes or breaks us as the season goes anyway. So I mean,
He's a starter.
he's not a player that makes or break our
He's
team.
a starter.
He's not the player that makes or break our team.
Dave, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. Now we can do all the complaining on Ball.
I ain't said nothing bad about him.
Yeah.
I just said he's not that player that makes or break our team.
He starts.
What does that mean?
If you start on any NBA team, you make a difference.
Do I need to call out names on players that make a difference? I'm talking to make a difference in wins and losses. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Now I haven't done.
He does not make that difference. You know what I mean? On the amount of wins, the amount of wins we will win, or the amount of losses we will actually get with him.
Starting PG.
He does not. Again,
Sounds like you, Dave. Sound like a little hater right there on my man Ball. You sound like you're a little bit hating right now.
This ain't hate. This ain't hate.
Starting PG.
Yeah.
Stop it, see. You know what I mean? See, that come on, stop it, man. That ain't that means nothing. That means nothing. And y'all know this. And y'all need to stop. You need to stop. Just stop it, Bob.
Okay.
He is not that player.
I'm gonna go.
That's gonna make or break our squad.
You know what? I'm gonna have to put this up. You know what? Because the whole object of sticking to the code is he said what he said. So getting on. Oh, that's not the right one. Where's my VGQ? Where is my VGQ at? There it is. So VGQ Dave said, what was it again, Dave? What was your VGQ?
He is not the player that makes or break our season.
All right. That's Dave's
Simple
VGQ.
enough.
That's Dave's VGQ on Ball.
Unbelievable. Starting PG in the NBA. Starting PG.
It's cold outside.
White
the wind is blowing in Chicago right now.
Same amount of wind.
I'm saying it seems like you get more wins if he's in the starting rotation.
We will not. We will not get more wins with him playing.
That's VGQ again.
So how many wins y'all gonna have for the season?
Bottom line, what'd you say?
How many wins y'all gonna have for the season then?
I'm gonna put us right at maybe 45, 42. Somewhere in that range.
Without Lonzo, or that's with Lonzo? So it's the same.
It's like you said. It's the same either way. Like I said, it doesn't matter with him. You know what? I mean, there's free agents out there right now that can literally come in and fill this position and do the exact same thing. Exact same thing. And look, I'll even throw a name out there. Y'all tell me whether or not if this could be true or false.
All right.
Dennis Schroeder. Can he come in and do the exact same thing as Lonzo Ball?
Oh.
Okay, that hesitation tells me a lot. Because if you was really riding with Lonzo at first, you would have said hell no.
Wait a minute. I'm not gonna say hell no, but I'm gonna give Ball benefit of the doubt because
point taken.
He already gave me always been a point guard.
You gave me the answer. But again, he's a PG that does not break down the defense. He doesn't even bring the ball up, Bob. He passes the ball up at half court.
But hold on,
3/4 court like Steve Nash.
I thought you said his shot got better.
See, you know what? You know what I mean? Stop. See what I'm saying? Like I said, all this foolery. You know what I mean? With all this, I'm glad you said that. You know what I mean? That's another thing that proves my point.
Hey, I think that was a setup, Dave. I think that was a setup. I thought that was a setup.
I thought you said
my point.
Point guard.
Yeah, I mean, and I do know we're gonna have a better record than the Cavs and the Knicks.
Oh hell no! Oh, we're gonna disagree with you on that. Getting back to further NBA news, couple knee blowouts. Gallinari and Gary Harris. Well, I should say blowout. Gary Harris more so meniscus. Yeah. Gallinari MCL tear. Both of them left knees. So not saying that anything's gonna happen to the Magic, but with the Celtics, I don't think that hampers them. But that's somebody good off the bench.
Man, Gallinari, man, like you said, he went like almost a full 5 years, no injuries. Because that fool was like half man, half a season. He was see nice know that he was a Knick. You know what I mean? He he only played like half.
I don't recall.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Barely played. You know what I mean? But that's my point. But he went a little stint where he was actually playing almost like 60 games.
I ain't never liked that fool game. So
he always had back problems. So this knee definitely ain't gonna help that back issues that he's always had.
Nah, man.
Yeah. But he'd have been a good pickup for Boston, though.
Yeah, solid.
12, 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
He should have stayed in Atlanta. That's what he should have did.
Yeah. But obviously, we can't forget C Nice and the Knicks. So how you feel about the Barrett signing extension? How you feel about that?
For 126 when he could have got 185, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
All right.
They paid less than they paid less than what he could have made. I'm still not sold on his ability because that fool going left. Anybody that plays basketball, that fool going left. So it's like unless he uses his right hand, he's very limited. He's going strong to the cup, to the left side, and then he's gonna shoot the spot up three. He ain't no great passer. So if they want him to be 17, 18 points a game, okay. But if they think he's supposed to get like 26, they tripping. Like, so that's my thing. If he gets 17, 18, that's what he do. But anything more than that, I just can't see it. I just don't see it because he don't have no mid-range game. Zero. Zilch. And he go left every time.
And again, the wordplay, he said, you know what I mean? He was supposed to get how much? 100 and what?
185.
So and he said he only gave 126. You know what I mean? So that's what he was supposed to have gotten was 126.
Yeah,
and that's with incentive to get to the 126. That's all he really like 110. So I was like, okay, cool.
But with the Knicks, they got 3 lefties starting.
No big deal. Yeah, no big deal.
All right. Okay. All right. Seems like he's more interested in the Florida State game than talking about his Knicks at the moment.
Hey, man. 10 seconds.
It's early in the season, that'll soon dwindle down. You know what I mean? Once the sixth game come up.
Look, we still put the corners in the defensive cast in the league. It's just offense. They don't know what they want to do. You know what I mean? That's their problem. They don't know what they want to do.
No doubt. Well, once when the season comes up, some of y'all out there who have mental health issues, go ahead and dial 988-988. Any suicide mental health issues, go ahead.
You got to mute that fool. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, man, you're
the
wrong
wrong
podcast. You're the wrong podcast.
That's why I brought it up. You know what I'm saying? For all you guys out there, listen. Mental health. Check yourself out. You need it. We all do. We all could use some help. And with that in mind, Marcel Consulting Mental Health Services.
The B-Side podcast is sponsored by Marcel Consulting and Mental Health Services. Has this pandemic and our current state of the world taken a toll on you? Are you enjoying life? Marcel Consulting and Mental Health Services are here to help. We provide services from individual counseling, family counseling, life coaching and anger management to domestic violence. Our goal is to improve the lives of individuals and families by having a safe place to speak up, speak out, and live. Ask about our 30-minute consultation trial session. Whether you are insured or not, we have an installment payment option. Contact us at marcelconsulting.com at 909-323-7100. Remember to speak up, speak out, and live. marcelconsulting.com
ladies and gentlemen, get your health checked out. Definitely your mental health. Always check it out. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with getting help. We're in a new age where nothing's wrong with that. So go ahead and check out Marcel Consulting, mentalhealthservices.com. So getting on with the new segment of the new. You know what? Let's just go ahead and feed Yes, in the new this segment. If you guys haven't known, Madam C.J. Walker, America's first female self-made millionaire, is now a Barbie. Mattel has came out with the Madam C.J. Walker Barbie doll. Yes, Madam C.J. Walker. If you don't know, go look her up. Like I said, one of America's first female self-made millionaire. And Mattel has came out with her own Barbie. That's great. Anything to help out our young sisters out there, to help them work on self-assurance of their greatness right there. Yes, how you guys feel about that? Martel coming out with the Madam C.J. Walker Barbie doll.
I like it. I think it's a good thing.
Yes. You guys have daughters. That would be, positive thing, right?
Yeah,
for young ladies coming up, right?
I think it's great.
Well, I mean, it's setting a precedence that, I mean, kind of threw me a curveball. I don't necessarily, Barbie is not known for, taking such stances like this and, making a Barbie doll based off of someone and their philanthropy and their celebrity, I should say. This is the first, right? Are there other Barbies that they've made? Not only just, with this, Black entrepreneur.
Maybe in that realm. I'm sure. I don't know, but I'm sure they have some other Black Barbies. I don't know if that's the first, but I'm sure.
No, I mean not just Black Barbies. I mean just the depiction of anybody for that matter, right? I mean, like I said, I
it's
don't
a first
know.
or something.
Yeah, that's for sure.
$35, ladies and gentlemen. Suggested retail price $35 for the Madam C.J. Walker Mattel Barbie. Hey, that's all good, man. It's all good.
Just another thing that promoting our Black women.
That's right.
Putting them up on that pedestal.
Put them up on a pedestal, and also talking about, I guess you would say, putting them up on a pedestal. I don't know if you guys have heard this. Let me bring this up here. Well, let me bring this up and share this with you guys. If you haven't already known, the land of my forefathers, when I went and had my blood type checked out to Ancestry.com. Nigeria becomes the first country to ban white and British models in all advertising. They say, we have 200 million beautiful people here. We will use our own. Check this out. Nigeria, done with the infiltrators? No. Colonizers. Advertising products of the country. We're over here, millions and millions strong. We will use our own. And however, and I know that there's backlash. What's some of the backlash? That'll never work. We're about to see. So how do you feel about that as far as country, magnitude of Nigeria, taking a stand as far as how we need to look within their own country?
It's their country.
Whoa.
What's that? Yeah, what's that, Dave?
No, I mean, you're right. It is their country. No, you're right. Yeah, that's first and foremost. It's their country. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, you probably look at their demographics. How many other people live in Nigeria?
That's the blackest country on this earth.
So it shouldn't
no, for real. For real.
No, that's what I'm saying. So it shouldn't be.
And they're going to double. They're about to double their population because I think what they said that their youngest population is like 18. So they're about to double their population next 10, 20 years. So they kids about to have babies.
Well, there's a lot of other political things that go on in Nigeria that a lot of people don't. They're not really strong on the women presence in Nigeria. Number one, okay, I think that's been around for eons. You know what I mean? And they still have not changed their stance on that. But banning, just saying, look, no other race. That's a strong stance. For one. Two, and I think it's a good representation of we need to start not only in Nigeria, start to have a more presence in saying that being black is not a bad thing. You don't have to sell things from a white person's perspective, anymore. We don't live in those confines anymore. It should be the narrative for especially an African, country. Just like going into the ghetto, man. Do you normally see a lot of white faces on the billboards? You know what I mean? Like when you go to Watts, no, you don't.
You got a point. You got a point.
Exactly right.
That's a great point. Great point.
That's what I said with their demographics. Hey, I don't feel that it's going to be a problem at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think it changes everything, right? Because as a black women, they want to get like the straight, silky hair, like the Anglos and all that, right? So now when black girls really, those are the ones that really need the empowerment, start to see, the beauty, of self. I think it really only helps us out as a race too, especially over in Nigeria, that they don't have to go out and buy those wigs. And get them extensions in there that looks a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So yeah, put them folks out of business.
Yeah, it helps out with the self-imagery, because we already know that out there, just like you were saying, as far as the hair, and also it's always been prevalent, the lightning cream. That's a big business.
Yep.
Unfortunately, what we've been exposed to, our PTSD. That is just a direct embodiment when you see, us using lightning cream to
like you hate
fit the beauty standards, the so-called beauty standards. I want to say,
like it's self-hate.
Yeah.
Yep. You don't like the way you look.
Yep.
It's funny. Like you said, I play golf. Like Dave, man, you got no suntan lotion though. Like, brother, I don't care. What my skin color look like. I am who I am. I get a little darker.
Yeah. But sunblock is good though, because that's one thing that we have to pay attention to as far as blacks, because the sun does do harm. I mean, a lot of times, because we don't see the spots, there's some might be undertone skin cancer with that. So we definitely have to use sunblock. You know what I mean? Like you said, tanning lotion, hell no. We already got the melanin. But definitely sunscreen, that works. That works. You know what I mean? That works.
Normally I'm normally lacquered up. I wasn't lacquered up.
It was 7 a.m, Dave. It was 7 a.m, guy.
What's up,
you know what I'm saying? But just to let you guys know that the B-Side Podcast is brought to you by Black Storm Vodka. Nice 6-time distilled premium vodka. Go to blackstormvodka.com. Go online, check out, see where you can purchase the bottles at. I know that they're in some stores, but not all. So therefore, go to blackstormvodka.com. Check out where you can get your local listings and local pricing. But like I said, Black Storm Vodka, premium vodka, 6-time distilled. Definitely blackstormvodka.com. Blackstormvodka.com. Yes, sir. And like I always say, and like I always do, you might hear me say the code, or you might hear me say the VGQ, Victims Guaranteed Qualification. And you ask like, hey, Bob, where'd you get that information from? Just to let you know, I got it from Neely Fuller Jr. Go to producejustice.com, producejustice.com, and get you a copy of the Pensatory Counter Racist Code Book. Producejustice.com. Now, hey, maybe you don't feel that you're a victim of what's going on around us. Maybe that doesn't apply for you. okay, don't get the book. But if you feel that you're a victim of the white supremacy going on, go to producejustice.com. Like I said, I'll bring it up again. Producejustice.com. The compensatory counter racist code. If you're looking for answers to what's going on, go check it out. Like my man said, if you don't understand, if you don't know what white supremacy is and how it works, everything else will confuse you. So like I said, producejustice.com. You're going to hear us go to, hey, my code, the VGQ, Victims Guarantee Code. And all that is stop us from arguing because, like my man said, black folks, we need to stop arguing. We need to cut that shit out. So therefore, with the VGQ, since you're a victim of the system, then you can be like, hey, this is my opinion, this is our experience. That's right. It's all on you. The VGQ. Whenever you hear me say, hey, that's my VGQ, that's my statement, and that's what it is. You know, we gotta start understanding the code, what works and what doesn't work. And I highly recommend that book. I'm still on it. I'll be listening to him. You can check out Neely Fuller on YouTube. Listen, that brother is 92 years old, still doing it. And his first words, they say, how you doing, Mr. Neely? I'm still learning. 92, still dropping knowledge.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Is he wearing the pins? I just had to ask. I mean, like, you know, there's certain other times that you might have to do that. So, you know, but we understand if you do, you know what I mean? I don't know what age that starts at. You
gonna do that to the doc like that?
I'm just saying, like,
ain't nobody safe. Ain't nobody safe, apparently.
Yeah, hey, this is the B-Side podcast. We keep it, you know what I mean? So, just saying, like, hey.
Anyhow,
that really started.
If you want to support the B-Side podcast, you can hit us up at these spots. $ Robert Sellers. Venmo is Robert-Sellers-4. And for PayPal, BB Sales. Like I said, if you want to support the B-Side podcast, go ahead, contribute. We'll gladly take your donation because, hey, we're trying to build some things here at the podcast. And without your support, there'll be no other way. So, like I said, $ Robert Sellers. Venmo, Robert-Sellers-4. And on PayPal, BB Sales. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, before we get up out of here, you know, I'm going to still keep playing this beat. You know, shout out to my man, Andre Crockwell. That's the homie, you know what I'm saying, provided the beat over here for me. But, hey, I know we've been away. But you know what we got, y'all? We got C Nice's top picks. Go ahead, C. Give us a description of some of these sneakers right here, boy.
Man, once again, with the top pick, you know, coming off the top of the dome, the original C Webs. Fire! Fire! You got to go pick those up, y'all. Anytime you see those, woo, and you got this is one of the most classic shoes of all time. The Penny Hardaway with the black with the white. Don't let the bubble burst on these things because it's hard as a rock. You know what I mean? Because that ain't really no air in there, but they look so fly. You got to have those in the arsenal. Got to.
There it is, y'all. You know, and my apologies on that.
Two good picks, too, because them C-Webs, boy, like you said, C-Web left Nike right after that.
Famous shoe.
Yeah, so, hey, we trying to bring some more segments. You know what I'm saying? We Dave, I ain't forgot about you either. I ain't forgot about you. What was our segment? The Let It Go, right? Let It Go? Let It Go? About the hair, Let It Go?
I forgot, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I let it go.
Too much. You know what I'm saying? But hey, y'all, it's hot. I don't know how much I can take it right now. I got these lights on me. It's hot. So we going to finish up. But hey, once again, fellas, thanks for coming on. Thank you. Always a great show. Always here, you know what I'm saying, from you two. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to tighten it up, you know what I'm saying? But before we get up out of here, man, go ahead and give us your handle, DP.
You can reach me at Dave Perk the King on Twitter. And before I leave, I just want to give a shout out to my main man, Marcus Jordan. That's right, Marcus Jordan, Michael Jordan's second son. You know, saw him out there hanging out with Larsa Pippen. You know what I mean? Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. You know what I mean? I guess she must have been like Stifler's
Yeah,
mom
okay.
for little Marcus back in the day. You know what I mean? Because he ended up scooping her up after Pippen was talking all that mess about his pops. So shout out to Marcus Jordan with the flex, the ultimate Stifler mom's flex.
Oh wow! No,
Peace.
he didn't go. No, he didn't go there. See, come on. We got to save Dave. We got to save Dave. Go ahead, man.
All right, man. Let me just say,
He's wrong for that. Bringing up that.
C
Man.
Nice
He's so wrong. He's
on
so wrong.
Twitter, C
Yeah.
Nice on Instagram, and for all the hip hop heads out there, if you haven't heard Danger Mouse and Black Thought, you're slipping. That's all I'm gonna say. Danger Mouse and Black Thought is on a whole different level. Check that out.
There it is. I was a little skeptical
Cheat
about
Code
that. I was
is
like,
what
I don't
it's
know,
called.
but yeah, I want to check it
Cheat
out.
Code. That's the name of the album.
What's it called? G Code?
Cheat Code.
Cheat Code.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's where Black Thought just be running on for a long time. It's like at some point, give me a hook in between to kind of help with the break. I be tired breathing just listening to him. You know what I mean? Sometimes like, hey, dude, you gonna stop?
That's how we bring it to you on the B-Side Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. But anyhow, go ahead, check us out at the B-Side Podcast.q, B-Side Podcast.q. Also, go to Alec Roberts on IG. Alec Roberts, if you want to just check me out, you can go to AR Sales 2. And like I said, once again, you can always go to, here we go again, the B-Side Check us out there. And also, hey, if you want some gear, we got some gear at AlecRoberts.com. AlecRoberts.com. Check us out. Always good. Once again, great show. And like we always say, till next time, peace, 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 peace.